Ladies and gentlemen, to our channel, where we bring you the latest updates on international affairs. And today we have an eye-opening episode for you. The tensions between the United States and China have reached new heights, with the U.S. deploying nuclear-capable B-52 bombers near China. Join us as we dive into the details behind this significant development and examine its implications on global security. But first, make sure to hit that subscribe button and click the notification bell so you never miss our thought-provoking content. In recent weeks, tensions between the United States and China have been escalating, as both countries grapple for influence in the increasingly contested Pacific region. The United States has made a significant move by deploying nuclear-capable B-52 bombers in proximity to China's borders. These strategic aircraft, known for their long-range capabilities and nuclear deterrent potential, have been deployed to demonstrate U.S. military prowess and assert dominance in the region. The deployment of B-52 bombers is a clear message from the United States to China. It highlights their resolve to protect their interests and those of their allies in the face of growing Chinese assertiveness. This deployment has sparked a heated debate among global experts and policymakers. Many speculate about the potential consequences and whether it will escalate the already tense situation between the two superpowers. The U.S.-China relationship is a complex web of economic interdependence, military posturing, and ideological differences. The deployment of B-52 bombers near China adds fuel to an already volatile situation. The economic ties between the U.S. and China are significant, with billions of dollars in trade flowing between the two nations. Any escalation of tensions could have severe implications for the global economy. B-52 bombers are not solely a show of force. They also serve as a potent symbol of the U.S. commitment to defend its allies in the region. This move is intended to strengthen partnerships and deter any potential threats. The United States is preparing to deploy up to 6 nuclear-capable B-52 bombers to northern Australia, a provocative move experts say is aimed squarely at China. An investigation by Four Corners can reveal Washington is planning to build dedicated facilities for the giant aircraft at Tyndall Air Base, south of Darwin. The U.S. has drawn up detailed plans for what it calls a squadron operations facility for use during the Northern Territory dry season, an adjoining maintenance center, and a parking area for 6 B-52s. Becca Wasser from the Center for New American Security says putting B-52s in northern Australia is a warning to China, as fears grow Beijing is preparing for an assault on Taiwan. Having bombers that could range and potentially attack mainland China could be very important in sending a signal to China that any of its actions over Taiwan could also expand further, she says. The bombers are part of a much larger upgrade of defense assets across northern Australia, including a major expansion of the Pine Gap Intelligence Base, which would play a vital role in any conflict with Beijing. The B-52s have been the backbone of the U.S. Air Force for more than 60 years, with the capability to deliver long-range strikes of both nuclear and conventional weapons. The U.S. documents say the facilities will be used for deployed B-52 squadrons. The ability to deploy U.S. Air Force bombers to Australia sends a strong message to adversaries about our ability to project lethal air power, the U.S. Air Force told Four Corners. Some worry having B-52s rotating through Tyndall each year locks Australia into joining the U.S. in any conflict against China. It's a great expansion of Australian commitment to the United States war plan with China, says Richard Tanter, a senior research associate at the Nautilus Institute and a longtime anti-nuclear activist. It's a sign to the Chinese that we are willing to be the tip of the spear. Mr. Tanter sees the planned deployment of the bombers as more significant than the rotation of U.S. Marines through Darwin each year. It's very hard to think of a more open commitment that we could make, a more open signal to the Chinese that we are going along with American planning for a war with China, Mr. Tanter says. Nancy Wasser says the growing importance of Northern Australia to the U.S. makes Darwin and Tyndall targets in any war with China. Her work includes running war game exercises to examine how a potential conflict might unfold. She says in the war game scenarios where Australia either joined the fight or allowed Washington to use bases in the top end, it did very much put a bullseye on Australia. Ultimately, these attacks were not successful because of the long range required and because China had already expended its most capable long-range missiles earlier in the game. But who's to say that in the future, China might have more advanced missile capability that would be better suited to potentially attacking Australia? The United States has long-standing alliances with countries like Japan, South Korea, and Australia, who view the B-52 deployment as a sign of solidarity and a warning to China. However, this military maneuver has raised concerns among citizens in the region who fear that it might escalate tensions and lead to a catastrophic conflict. Diplomatic efforts are crucial in de-escalating the situation and finding common ground between the U.S. and China. The world watches anxiously as the geopolitical balance of power teeters on a precarious edge. And that brings us to the end of this gripping episode. We've examined the rising tensions between the United States and China, with the U.S. deploying nuclear-capable B-52 bombers near China's borders. The implications of this move are far-reaching and demand careful consideration from all parties involved. If you found this video insightful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. Remember to subscribe to our channel for more engaging content on international affairs.